Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. This channel is specialized in solving math problems. In every video, I will solve several math problems. It depends on the length. It can be 4, 5, 6 problems. And I will try to go through different solving methods. So let's start with the problem number 1. Question 1. We have two similar triangles. RQ R Q and S, and the other triangle is U U T V. So these are similar triangles. Now we know the cosine of angle U. We are given the cosine of angle U, this angle, and we are asked to what's the cosine of angle R, this angle. So cosine U equals 93 over 485. So what is cosine R? Angle R. Now in similar triangles, now similarity means US over TV line QS divided by TV equals RQ divided by UT equals RS divided by UV. Let me write this formula. Or what does similarity mean? Similarity implies that RQ divided by UT equals, the length equals RS divided by UV equals US divided by TV. So this is similarity. And also similarity implies that the angle R equals the angle U, and also angle Q equals T. This is given. Angle Q equals angle T, and also angle S equals angle V. Okay, this I'm just trying to explain similarity. You don't need to do that in the to solve this the question. Just to understand what similarity means. Now, since cosine R, since angle R equals angle U, angle R equals angle U, then cosine R equals cosine U. So cosine angle R equals cosine angle R cosine angle R. Okay, we are given cosine U, so cosine angle R equals cosine angle U. So cosine R cosine R equals 93 over 485. This is a very quick question. Okay. once you understand what similarity means, then you know that cosine R equals cosine U. The next question, we are given two lines. Question 2. Line M and line K are perpendicular. Two straight lines are perpendicular, M and K lines. M and K are perpendicular. This sign means perpendicular. It's important to understand the question before solving it. So this is why I'm going through the details. So we are given two straight lines, M and K, which are perpendicular. And we are given the equation of K in the y plane. So the equation of K, equation of K is 3y minus 9x equals 12. So this is the equation of line K, and we are asked what is the slope of line M? What is the slope? The question is, what is the slope of line M? Now the question gave us the fact that the two lines are perpendicular. That means now when two lines are perpendicular, that means the multiplication of their slopes equals -1. When two lines are perpendicular, the multiplication of their slopes equals to 1. That means SK slope is slope, S is a slope. So SK multiplied by the slope of line M equals -1. When two straight lines are perpendicular, the multiplication of their slopes equals to -1. And when two straight lines are parallel, their slopes are equal. So now we know the equation of line K. So the equation is 3y minus 9x equals 12. So I want to put this equation into the standard format, which is AX, for a straight line, AX plus, this is A, X plus B plus C equals to 0. Now in this, AX plus B equals 0. This is the equation of a straight line. Now, if the straight line is, the equation is in this format, then A is the slope of the straight line and B is the y-intercept. So the equation of line K is 3y. I want to put it in, this should be actually y. Y equals, does not have to be 0, okay? So y equals AX plus B. This is the general format of the straight line equation, y equals AX plus B. So I want to put the equation of line K into the standard format. So 3y plus minus 9x equals 12. So 3y equals 9x plus 12, and y equals, if I divide by 3 both sides, y equals 3x plus 4. If I divide both sides by 3, so y equals 3x plus 4. So from this equation, this is the equation of line K. From this equation, we know that slope of line K, this is called line K, equals 3, which is the coefficient of x. So slope of line K equals 3. Now we know from that the two lines are perpendicular. So slope of line M by slope of line K equals -1. So slope line M equals -1 over slope of line K, which is 3. So slope of line M is -1 over 3, which is the answer for this question. Again, this is, you can do it quickly on the SAT, just by knowing that the multiplication of the slopes should be equal to -1. So you put the known equation in the standard format, you get the slope, then you do the find the slope of the other line. So the next problem, okay, we are given two equations, g of x and f of x, and we are required to determine the maximum of the function. G of x equals minus 3x squared plus 3x plus 36x minus 104. And we have f of x equals g of x minus 2. At which x does f of x reaches its maximum? So the question, at which x f of x reaches maximum. Now we know g of x. We know, g of x, and f of x is defined in terms of g of x. So we can find at which x g of x is the maximum occurs, then we can get at which x f of x as its maximum. Now from the calculus, the maximum or the optimum of a function occurs when for a function, for example, g of x, its maximum occurs when the derivative equals to 0. So d g of x by dx equal to 0. Now we know g of x, so the derivative is minus 3 minus 6x, which is 3 by 2, plus 36 equal 0. So from this equation, we get x equal to 6. Now we still have to check the second derivative, but to save time, since the question does not really ask for checking. So to save time, we know that g of x, the maximum of g of x occurs at x equal to 6. So from the definition, the relationship between f of x and g of x, then f of x maximum f of x occurs at x equals 8. So this is the answer for the question. Now, you can solve this by using the built-in calculator, by plotting the g of x, and you will see that the maximum occurs at x equals 6. Then g of x, its maximum occurs at x equal 9. Now, there's also another way to solve the problem. Let me also do it. Now, g of x equals from the relationship between the two functions. Now, this is longer, but I will just show you. Now, g of x equals minus 3x squared plus 36x minus 104. Now we know that f of x equals g of x minus 2. Then we substitute, then f of x equals, we substitute instead of x equals minus 2. Minus 3 into x minus 2 squared plus 36 into x minus 2 minus 104. Then we do algebra. F of x equals minus 3, this is x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus 36x minus 72 minus 104. Then f of x, if we simplify, we get that f of x equals minus 3x squared plus 12 3x squared minus 3x squared plus 12x minus 12 plus 36x plus the constants. Now, because I want to take the derivative, and the derivative of the constant is 0, so to save time, I will not care about the constant. So dfx by dx equals minus 6x plus, now this is 12x plus 36x, this is 48x, so the derivative is 48, equals to 0, and then we have 6x plus 48 equals to 0, then x equals 8. So this is another way to solve the problem, but I think the first option is faster than this option. But I just want to verify this the solution by another method. So let's see the next question. So we have in a school, they want to have information about a trip, and they want either to go to an art museum or a planetarium museum, and they are doing a survey. Then they surveyed their students. So the sample, they surveyed their students sample equals 630 students. And from the 630 students, 441 students, 441 students said they want to go to an art museum, and 189 students, they said that they want to go to a planetarium. Now, if the number of students in the school is 2520, now school has 2520 students. Now the question is, how many students prefer, what's the difference between the number of students who prefer to go to the art and those who prefer to go to the planetarium. So we find from the sample is 630 students. So we find a percentage. So percentage of those who prefer to go to an art museum equals 441 divided by 630, which is the sample. And this equals 70%. So 70% prefers to go to an art museum, and 30%, so percent of those who prefer to go to planetarium, planetarium, equals 189 divided by 630, and that should equal to 30%, because the summation should equal to 100. So now the number of students who prefer to go to, or who are expected to go to an art museum, number of students, for art equals 70%, 0.7, by the number of students at the school, which is 2520. And that equals 1764 students. So we expect 70% of the students want to go to an art museum. And the number of students who want to go to a planetarium, students to planetarium equals 30% equals 0.3 by 2520, which is 756 students. So the difference between the two groups, the delta equals 1764 minus 756, which equals to 1008 students. So this is the answer for this question, 1008 students, the difference between the two groups. Okay, let's do one more problem. So we have two functions, y equals 7x minus k, and y equals 3x squared plus 37x plus 84. So this is the other function. Now, these are two equations, two systems of equations. And we know that the two systems, they have one real solution. So there's only one real solution, one real solution. So what is X? That satisfied the one real solution. What is X? First of all, let's simplify the two equations because this is y and this is y, so they are equal. So we have 7x minus k equals 3x squared plus 37x plus 84. Then we will have 3x squared plus, I subtract 7x from both sides, so plus 30x plus 84 plus k equals to 0. So this is a quadratic equation. Okay, this is a quadratic equation, and we want to find the solution. Now, the question gives us an important piece of information, which says that there's only one solution for this equation, one real solution. Now, one real solution means that the discriminant is 0. Now, the discriminant is defined as a squared minus, b squared, the discriminant. Okay, first let me put the general form of the quadratic equation. So the general form of the quadratic equation is ax squared plus 30 plus bx plus constant, which is, for example, c equals to 0. This is the general format of the quadratic equation. Now the discriminant is b squared, or let's say the solution for a quadratic equation, x equals minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac square root over 2a. Now a in this equation is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of the x, and c is the is the constant. Now the question gives us that there's only one solution. So that means the discriminant is 0. So this is 0. This is 0. So the solution is x equals minus b over 2a, which is b is 30 minus 30 over, yeah, b is 30 over 6. 2a is 6. Divide by 6. Divide by 6, which is minus 5. So x equals minus 5. The solution to this two systems of equations is minus 5. Now, it is important to note here in this example that we are not required to determine k. Okay, we are not required to determine k, and we are not required to determine the discriminant. It is given in the question that it is 0. So the solution is minus 5. Thank you for following my channel. If you have any question about these problems, please leave me a comment. If you have any questions that you have problems or you want me to solve, please also send to me in the comment. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.